Hey everybody, my name is Angie Murenga and you're watching Just Angie. And today I want to talk about lift as you climb. And before I start on this amazing subject, I want to tell you that on the 17th of March, 2018, I think at the Radisson Blu, but it's a prepaid event. We're going to have an event for Family Talk and the theme is Lift as you climb. And I think it's so powerful. And as we're thinking through it and wondering, wow, what does that mean? Who do we need to come and bring to speak about, and who are the people? Because we always recognize men and women who are impacting differently, and this time impacting differently in the theme of they've lifted other people as they've climbed, as they've engaged in the journey of life, they have lifted others, they haven't left them behind. And that's very powerful. So 17th of March, it will be a whole day event, Radisson Blu. You can check, if you go to you can check how to call us, how to contact us, and we'll be sending out flyers and emails to do the same. So just watch out for that event. It's prepaid, pre-booked, and we'll stop at a certain number. So I'm inviting you to that. But I'm just thinking, even when I was thinking about lifting as you climb, who are the people who have lifted me as they've climbed up on their journey? And as I thought about that, I can see it's like a visual action in my brain, like sort of like, you know, it's like you're climbing, then you look back and you reach back and you help somebody else, you know, climb up. And we've got to do that. We've got to become a society and a people who are continuously lifting other people, that we're not climbing by ourselves, rising by ourselves, looking to shine by ourselves. And what does that look like on a day-to-day basis? I always say that, first of all, I think it looks like sacrifice, and it looks like going out of the box. It looks like coming out of your comfort zone. It looks like not being selfish because you want other people to be lifted up, and other people to also, you know, make significant gains as they make this journey into life, you know. And for me, I'm thinking about there's so many people by God's grace who have been in my life, who have mentored me, coached me, trained me, spoken to me. But I was thinking of one of the most powerful gifts that was unearthed in a moment of lifting as we climb, was by Pastor Simon Bevy and Pastor Sophie Bevy. I am forever grateful to them because prayer is one of the greatest gifts that I have. But I didn't even know that I could pray. I had no idea that this gift was in me. That is really scary. So first of all, what gift is in you that you haven't unearthed? Or if you're not going to lift somebody else and help them climb, what gifts are you leaving dormant in people that it is God who has put you there to be able to uncover that gift? Because for me, honestly, I had no idea. So thank God they started it was then called the School of Prayer. These days we'll call it OMBI. Thank God they started it, invited me for it. I was so engaged in it, and this gift began to bubble and this gift began to come out. And you know, for me, prayer is the premise and the foundation of everything that I do. Nothing works for me without prayer. Everything that is birthed in me, through me, for me, around me is birthed in prayer. And then everything is sustained by prayer. I mean, prayer is such an important function that it actually scares me. If I had not come across that class, if a series of events and a sequence of events, like I like to call them, had not ordered me right into the steps of Pastor Simon Bevy's life and Pastor Sophie Bevy's life, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine what that would have not been like. So if you're feeling challenged right now, you've got to lift somebody up, because you don't know what you're lifting. You don't know what you're unearthing. You don't know the potential that you're removing. So thank God they obeyed and wrote the book, the School of Prayer and OMBI, engaged in the lessons. And then with me, because of the passion that I have for things, I then served, I was counting there, I think 7 School of Prayers, seven whole seasons of a School of Prayer. I was there every day, giving out name tags, talking, went to all the retreats. And what I loved about that experience as well is that as they were lifting me, and then I'm lifting others because I'm here serving for others to experience the same gift. But in all that, as all that is taking place, I too am growing. I mean, I attended 7 School of Prayers. I attended 7 of those sessions. So that prayer thing was lodged in me, and it was unfolded in me and covered in me. Of course, there was prophecy, there was prayer that has propelled me forward, you know. So lifting as you climb is as much about the person that you're lifting as it is about yourself, because you grow as well. You grow, you learn, and you're a better human being, and you feel better about yourself. And you don't have to do everything with selfishness, because remember, this year we're dealing with sin, self, and corruption. So if you don't lift other people, if you climb all by yourself, then there's going to be a problem, and that's going to be very selfish. I think there was a wise man one day who said that that when he grows up as a tree, he wants to be surrounded by other tall trees. I think there's a saying like that, you know, that when you're growing or when you're being established in whatever you're being established, you need other giants around you. You cannot be the only giant. You cannot really be the only tall tree in this life and in this purpose. You know, let others be great. Teach others what you know. Mentor them. Ensure they don't make the same mistakes that you make. Speak about your mistakes. Speak about your expertise, and want other people to grow. And you know, it's not gonna. We have this thing where we feel that they're gonna outshine me. I mean, first of all, number one, so what? Then number two, be confident of yourself and what you're bringing to the table. Again, me and my movies. I love this movie called The Intern. I watched it last night. I love it. I love it because it reminded me of so many things. And when I watch a movie, I draw out purpose, I draw out vision, I draw out ideas, I draw out what's going on in the society. And this one was about, I think, a 70-year-old man who goes back to work. And I found it very amazing because first of all, he had become a widower. Then he was so tired of just being in the house. And imagine there are probably people around you who are old, but they've got so much to give. They're not ready to die yet, you know. And this man, he was a VP, he had done sales, he had done marketing. So he had a wealth of knowledge, you know, in a different era and a different age. And he comes to serve on this team, and first they ignore him, and then he just ends up adding so much value to the young people, to the young men who are around him, and even to the company that he works for. So look for it. It's called The Intern. I think it has, can I remember, Robert De Niro and I think Anne Hathaway. Anyway, something like that. Look for it. Because what we're trying to say is that there are also people out there who, and you know, every time you look at old people and dismiss them, please remember one day you'll be old. It may look in the far distant future, but it will be there. And what do you want to do? And how do you want to impact? And how do you interact? And I'm always saying that there's so much a wealth of knowledge in the old people around us. We've got to get it out of them somehow. We've got to sit with them. We've got to engage. They have wisdom. They've lived life. They've been there before you. You're the, you know, whippersnapper that came lately and thinks you know everything. Be in an atmosphere of wanting to learn, wanting to gain, you know. And as you're being lifted, you know, that's another thing I'm seeing in my spirit. Like when I can see somebody on a mountain lifting somebody else, you cannot be protesting. You have to be ready to be helped by that person. You have to acknowledge that this person has more experience than me, so I'm reaching out. They're higher, and therefore we're going up together. But there's also an element and an attitude that needs to come from you to be positive. Back to my movie of The Intern, the guy was being so accommodative. Nobody was treating him well. Nobody was giving him work to do. Everybody was dismissing him, but he sat there with an attitude of gratitude, came with his suit every day, came on time, showed up. And that's probably what you need to do as well. You need to be there and you need to show up. And I'm just thinking about it, maybe even with Kina Pastor Simon. It's because I was there. I came every day. I delivered. I was there. I served. I did what I was asked to do. And maybe that also is something that is, I'm just thinking about it now. Serving in 7 seasons of prayer, season of Ombi. Also look at the people that God has raised to partner with me, walk with me, be a friend with me, support me. That was a seed I was unlocking. Therefore, we have to be very thoughtful. If we're higher than others, lift them up. If you're climbing, and somebody's lifting you up, have the right attitude. And never forget those who have helped you. Never, ever, ever forget. Never forget them. And if you right now, this moment, you just remembered somebody you have not remembered, please remember them. And remember sometimes you feel like, I don't know how it says, the master can never become greater than the teacher the student can never become greater than the master. Sometimes they do, but I think in a physical reality, but I think you have to have that honor thing and know that they went before you. And that's why I think I've shared before here in another video that they are leaders, spiritual leaders and authorities that I don't talk to when I'm standing, I talk when I'm kneeling. Why? It's a submission thing for my heart. I never want to think that I've become greater than them. Even if they taught me, poured into me, lifted me, helped me climb, I will never be greater than they are because they taught me and they were ahead of me and they were first. So have that attitude. God bless you. My name is Angie Murenga. See ya.